Thank you all for coming. Once again, my name is Crystal Alexander, Assistant Principal here at Jones Valley. Today we're going to be talking about STAR reading, but just a quick overview of our demographics. We have 58% of our students that are white, 29% Black, African American, 10% Hispanic, and then 3% that are either Hawaiian Pacific Islander or Native American. And then you can see our demographics pretty evenly split between all grade levels, second grade having 16%, everywhere else hovering between 12 to 14%. Pre-K is at 6%. So we've been using STAR reading in Huntsville City Schools for about 9 years. It replaced ThinkLink, and it gives us information such as the student's percentile rank, gives us growth and focus skills for both teachers and for parents. And then we'll be focusing on grades 3 through 6 STAR reading today. So the students were tested in August. We'll test again in December just to see that mid-year growth, to see how well they're growing from August to December, and then again in May. So at the end of the year, we'll measure growth based on the August to May assessment. And our goals this year, either for our students to obtain at least a year's growth, that's what we would like them to do within that 9-month time frame, or hit a 65 percentile rank or higher. That means they'll be in that at or above benchmark category. And May 2020, sorry, I was reading that slide. So they'll either be in that benchmark where they'll be on grade level or considered on grade level. So here you can see our reports for grades 3 through 6. Pretty well balanced, surprisingly. What I did want to see, and I'll get into in the next few slides, is our third grade is a little different, and I just want to point that out so you can see the visual now when we start talking about it. But since that threshold went from 50 to 65, our colors have shifted. So it used to be a lot more green, and now that that benchmark has gone up, it's changed a lot. So if you consider the blue and the green, which is our on-watch or at or above benchmark, that used to be all green before they moved the threshold. So challenges and issues, and I know you guys probably have a few things to weigh in as well. We did adopt a new reading curriculum last year for K through 5, and then this year we have a new math curriculum, and I inserted math into this just because that's another thing for you guys to start, having to learn how to plan and implement in the classroom, so that takes away time necessarily from the reading program. 6th grade, there's no collaborative classroom curriculum for 6th grade. And that can be somewhat of a challenge at times, too, if the whole school is not on the same page. So that does affect that as well. Testing is exhaustion from teachers and students. We were constantly progress monitoring and testing, and the kids were not taking it seriously. So I feel like that's been one of the main challenges also with STAR, is they see it so much that when it's time to perform, they just are like, they just click. And then progress monitoring takes away from their testing drive. So do you guys have any other challenges or issues that you could see with possibly STAR or with other things affecting our STAR scores? All right, I think I covered all of it. Try to get all your concerns covered. So trends or implications. Percentages were about even from grade level to grade level. 3rd grade did have a higher percentage of students that were at or above benchmark. And that might possibly be due to the new reading curriculum, and that's data that both we're tracking and central office is tracking as well, to see how the students are coming in, because this is their first time. They went from being a reader now to making meaning. This is that first group that's shifted and had both. So we're really curious to see how that plays out over the next few years, and as students grow, as they get older, to follow that data and track that data. And then observing the trend, like I said, of 3rd grade students over the next few years to see if the curriculum is effective. Not only 3rd grade, I think this year's 1st grade group, because they had the curriculum last year in kindergarten, they're the only grade level as of right now that's all they've had. So to see that progression with them as well is going to be interesting to see. Areas of celebration, over 50% of our students in grades 3 through 6 are at a 50 percentile rank or above, which, it could be both an area of weakness and a celebration, just because we're blessed to have that many of our students considered at a 50% percentile rank or above. Higher number of students at or above benchmark compared to other students in the same grade levels at other schools in the district. So while other schools, they may be struggling a lot more, we're performing at a higher level as far as percentile rank. And then The possibility of significant increase of growth with the December and May assessment. And that, once again, that's using that new curriculum and progress monitoring using DIBELS and STAR and other methods of assessments just to see. But we're hoping that the track is going to be significant when we test again in December and then hopefully in May. So areas of weakness, like I said, 50% of our students are not proficient or on watch. So we are really trying to target them. Another area of weakness, and I think this is just more training, professional development, and just being comfortable with the new curriculum, is Tier 2 resources, how to use that collaborative classroom Tier 2 for small group instruction, and then having consistent Tier 3 instruction with pullouts for intervention. I think that's been another area that we can, focus on and make sure we're spending a little bit more time, I guess, focusing on our Tier 3 students that are in PST. And we do have the monthly PST meetings that help. We get monthly updates on how the kids are doing and that, and then we get our next steps. So our next steps, additional training for collaborative classroom, especially for new teachers that are just joining us this year. Perfect the Tier 3 intervention schedule. I think a good schedule has just been implemented recently. I think I got that yesterday in the email, and I think it's going to work great for our kids. Focus on increasing basic foundational reading skills. One thing about our math and literacy night, when I talked about testing, was what the parents can help with to help with DIBELS and how to increase that. So if we help with that and those basic foundational skills, then that will hopefully turn over and improve STAR and everything else that we test for. Progress monitoring urgent intervention and intervention students often, and we have a schedule for that made out as well, but making sure that we implement and stay on top of that progress monitoring schedule I think is going to be important, and not over testing the kids. So it's a fine line to walk. Any questions? No? Okay. Well, I appreciate you all coming out. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can see me after.